Welcome to Conversations with the Candidates. I am Thor Jourgensen, Daily Item City Editor. Today our guest is School Committee woman Maria Carrasco, who is running for re-election. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and it's a pleasure for me to be here.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. Tell us about yourself and your background, Maria, please.
Well, my name is Maria Carrasco, and I came in the 1980s from Dominican Republic to Lynn. Lynn is my city, the city that I choose to have my children. And I have 3 kids. They all attended public school in Lynn and graduated from public schools in Lynn. I have one who attended Lynn Tech, the other one English high school, and the other one classical. So I'm even with the 3 schools. I'm working. I've been working all my life and with people, adults. And back in the Dominican Republic, I was a teacher. I graduated as an educator. And when you are educated, you believe that you are educated all your life. Being a teacher is a vocation, so you continue. When I came here, I was not able to pursue my career, and I went to work like everybody else who is as an immigrant, manufacturing shoes company. It was okay. Later, I went to a school, North Shore Community College, and I learned English, which I still have my heavy accent, but I can manage it. And so I have a associate degree from English from the North Shore Community College, and I started working with adults who have problems with drug and alcohol. That was my major. I continue working with people, helping people to become an American citizen, and now I decided in 2007 to run for a school committee because education is my passion. As I say, when you are a teacher for the rest of your life. What made me to run for a school committee was what my background as a teacher, and also see that we had many students and parents who are not able, especially parents, to get involved. So I was thinking that being a school committee member was a bridge for me to make our parents to be involved. And I still work in that issues because many parents, even if they want to get involved, they don't, due to the fact that they have kids and they have also 2 jobs, and so life is very different as was before. Yes.
Well, give us some specific examples of what you have done to increase parental involvement in the schools during your school committee tenure.
One thing that I did at the beginning was the open microphone, that we didn't have microphone open for public in the school during the school committee meeting. So right now we are able to get people to bring their idea, their concern, even complaints over there regarding education, at least 15 minutes before we start the regular meeting. They're able to do it. We didn't have that before, so we can see more people coming to the meeting. Also, when in one school one time we had a meeting, and I was there to translate. It was good because they can see that there are some people as a school committee member that they don't mind to do that translation. And at that time we didn't have a translation, and I was there to translate. But more than anything, the microphone is something that impacts people. I believe that was my major, what things that I believe that I did that was great and impact many parents about that. Later, maybe 4 years ago, with the help of the other members, I also agreed to have televised that we couldn't televise, but we were talking about televise the school committee meetings due to the fact that many people were not able to attend. And so we all agreed to televise.
Can you point to specific schools where, through your actions on the committee, parental involvement has increased, and tell me in what way it has increased?
I can tell you that many schools are like Connolly. It's a school that we see more parents involved all the time. In the past, Fort School was a school that many parents were involved. Ingles School, they have a parents meetings over there, and the open house, they invite many parents, and they bring people to translate. They also brought me over there as a, not to translate, but it was more than anything else, as a speaker. And I was able to speak in both languages. It was great.
Was that involvement at Connery and Ingalls due more to initiatives by the principals or by proactive action by the school committee and specifically you? In other words, to what degree did you contribute and increase the involvement in either one of those schools?
No, I believe that the principals were more involved. They want to increase, but they were, because they know that the population was more than Latino parents, so they invite me to be there, and I was able to be there and be part of the improvement. Yes.
What else would you specifically point to as accomplishments during what is now your 8 years on the school committee?
Yes.
Could you cite a couple specific ones, please?
When in 2010 we had a U.S. Census, and I was able, with the help of the other members, to bring the census to the school, educating students so a student can be informed what is going on with the census and bring that information to the parents. We know that many parents don't comply with the census because they don't understand. I was able, and everybody or the member agreed that was a good thing to bring the U.S. Census in 2010 because that made money to our city. And I was able to do that with the help of everybody. I don't like to say me because you can never do something without have the approval of the other members. So I like to say that whatever I've been doing is always with the help of some members who agree, and they agree with my motion, and this is the only way that you can get things together, when people make a motion and the other members agreed. So the majority of the members agreed that we can have an open microphone. The majority of the members agreed that it was okay to bring the U.S. Census in 2010 to the schools so a student can get information, bring the information to the parents. And we got some money coming to our city, money that was invested for repair our schools, repair our roads, and many other things. Yes.
You mentioned majority of the committee a couple times, Maria, but aren't you, along with another member, I believe Donna Capola, almost a perennial minority vote on the committee? Is that an accurate statement in your view? And the specific criticisms or opposition that come to mind in your case from my coverage of the school committee is your concerns or concerns you voiced about the job Superintendent Latham is doing. Could you add some more detail to that?
Okay. In my point of view, my vote is not about what all the members is doing. It's about how I feel. It's every time I vote, I just think about my students, teachers, and parents. So I never can say that the superintendent is not a person that she knows her job. Yeah, she's a person that she qualified to have the position, but you know that not everybody is perfect, and I believe that we need a person who see more sensitive to the community that they serve, and I don't see that in her. I don't see like she provide jobs for or see parents the way that I see parents. And I don't see when teachers are intimidated to talk about issues, I don't believe that she can be a good manager. But I had to respect her because she's the superintendent, and I had to go. After we have election, this is Democrats. If we have election and I lose, I'm going to work with her, and I'm going to do my best to continue working with her.
Can you cite some examples of where teachers are intimidated to talk about their jobs? Expand on that, please.
Yes, when I have a person who complain about not to have the tools that they need, the resources that they need, the supplies that they need, and then they say, but please don't mention my name. And that is something that I don't like it. When I see schools and teachers who complain about different issues that is going on, and see a classroom in one school with 23 students in third grade, in another school with 30 students or 28 students in the same grade, that is not right. And the teachers complain, but they cannot say that because they are afraid to complain and, in front of people because they don't want to lose their job. That is why I see. You might.
Can you be more specific about that? I mean, you're saying, who are you saying is going to threaten their job, and in what manner are they threatening their job if someone complains? That's a strong statement to make without having some specifics. Could you be more specific?
Do you want me to mention it? I
do.
cannot mention it because that is the way that we cannot mention it, because if somebody said to me, please don't use my name, how can I mention the name? I know about job. I know that everybody needs a job. But I also want to say that you can see that in every school that we have a classroom with 28 students in one school, and I just want to put one grade, maybe in fourth grade, and you see another school with only 23 students.
Which schools are you comparing in this instance?
I don't want to compare a school because it's not about.
But you mentioned 2 classrooms.
Yes.
In which schools are those classrooms located?
Go to Tracy, and you're going to see in Tracy, you're going to see a students classroom where there are too many students in one classroom. In
Tracy compared to, what's your other comparison point?
We can see Avon.
Tracy to Avon.
We can see also Linwood. So there are some schools, and I believe also if you see Fort, you can see Fort also, how the amount of the students that we have over there in one classroom is not right for the teachers, but it's not right for the students either. So
again, and you correct me if I'm misinterpreting what you're stating, but you seem to have made 2 points. One is that in terms of school resources, I'm hearing you say schools are selectively treated by the school administration. The other more serious contention I hear you making is that if people, rank and file teachers, make complaints about job conditions, in doing so, they risk their job. Am I accurately characterizing your remarks?
I might say that they are afraid that the statement can make them to have a very difficult time in the place we are working. Other one is said that they're going to get fired because they also have union, So, but they are afraid to have a place where they don't feel comfortable to work. So, but to tell you the truth, I thought that this interview was more about how I feel as a school committee. I don't want to say, I didn't come here to attack the superintendent because I had to work with the superintendent as a school committee. I had to work with both sides. It doesn't mean, and when I say both sides, I mean superintendent, administration, and everybody who's working for the school system. So my job, more than anything else, is to support students, teachers, and parents. My job is not support administration positions. That's what I believe that I am. More than anything.
What is the
but
biggest?
I don't like interview attacking somebody in particular because, like I said to you, as a school committee, I respect that she's there, and I have to work with her and with everybody else. So, but if he is in my hand to vote for somebody else, I'm going to continue to vote for somebody else who might be more sensitive to the students, teachers, and parents.
What does sensitive mean, though?
Mean
What do you mean by that?
To respect cultures, to respect people, and we can disagree and agree, but still respect each other. To respect ideas, even if you disagree with the idea, not to lose respect, and to have everybody, to give everybody the same opportunity, to have more jobs with minority involved. We don't see many teachers to represent the population that they are teaching.
How many more do you think there should be? How many are there, to your
cannot-
knowledge?
I cannot. It can be less than 5%, and I don't have the numbers with me right now. But I believe that they are not enough, and we should have more.
What's the biggest issue facing the schools and the city, in your view?
Building. We have problem with the buildings. So we believe that we have buildings very bad condition. Cabot is a sample of schools that have very, very difficult situation. I see Cabot. One time I went there and I saw the condition that is not a condition that I want my kids to be there. Tracy is a school that has in very bad shape. We have many schools in very bad condition, and I believe that is one of the things that we're facing right now. Also, dropout. I see many students to drop. We are being reducing the dropout, which is great, but still we need to work on those issues. And the class size in the school. We need to reduce to have a decent class size. And I always talk about that different, so in some places we see 30 students, another place again, we see 23, 26, It depends where the people live, because maybe in that side where we see less students is because they are not, the amount of the students is different from the other sides, but we see that. So we want to reduce this because teachers can be more predictable with less.
Focusing on the chief concern you raised on schools, we have one under construction, one on the drawing board almost. What more can the committee do to ensure schools like the ones you mentioned, Tracy for instance, get either replaced or significantly renovated?
We are working about, we have right now Marshall, who is ready. We have Pickering, who is going to be the second one online. It's already online. And I believe that Tracy is going to be the next one. We try to do whatever we can do, even if it's in my case, I said that even if we had to go to the level of the state, we had to do it. It's not right that it seems like we have some kind of years. Every 10 years we can apply, but it's not right for a city like Lynn. If we had to go to the Congress, we had to do it. It's a fight that we had to do it. It's about our student safety also. You talk about repair. Sometimes it costs more money to repair the schools, a building, than the construction. That happened to Cabot. When I asked one person in the trade in Boston that if it was possible to do a repair in Cabot, they said the cost to repair is more than a building, is a new school.
How much should the Lynn taxpayers, property taxpayers, be asked to pay in addition to what they pay now to get new schools built?
Well, that is I don't believe that we should pay more taxes what we pay right now. We really pay a lot. They've been increasing continually, especially for homeowners. That is issues that I cannot tell you that I'm going to agree to increase taxes to our residents in Lynn. We had to get the money, like I said, in different ways. We had to go to the Congress, we had to go to federal money, we had to go to the state level to ask it, because this is issues that we need. Education is something that we cannot base in our resident taxes being increasing. It's something that education is life. It's the only thing that is going to make our students to be competitive in this society who's moving so fast. So I disagree about increase the taxes.
Where else would the money come from?
Well, the money need to come the building, the authority, Massachusetts School Authority has money inside for different city. They need to pick up this city as a city who has many buildings, too old. If they do that, and we need to, I know, and I don't know too much about money, but I know that we can, one time they pick up Lowe. Lowe has all the schools new, because they did that in Lowe. So the same way that they did in cities like Lowe, they can do it here in Lynn. Lynn is a city who need really buildings. We don't have a space, empty space to put the building, but we can have, we need to do something. That had to do it with everybody together, and the money had to come from the state or federal money. I don't agree that we have to increase our residents' taxes.
Last question, and thank you for your time. Why should someone vote for you?
Well, I believe that my vote is very, when people see me sitting in the school committee, they see me as a person who has no connection with, I'm very independent. I focus always on my students, and I call them my students because they are my students. I believe in public school with higher education. I always want the teachers to have the right tools, all the supplies, so students, parents, and teachers can receive the higher quality of education. The teachers can receive all the tools so they can provide the highest education to our students. I always vote thinking about how my vote is going to affect our students. But no, I don't think about anybody else. When people believe, my vote is very independent. It's about students, and it's about parents, it's about teachers. We have a great teachers in this city, and they're being even recognized, some of them, as the best in Massachusetts. So working with population in this city, population students that we take every day. Every day we receiving new students, and we don't care if they don't speak the language. They still receiving the higher great teachers providing for them. So I believe that when people see me, that I focus on the students, not about somebody else. They should vote for me because I always going to be there representing students, teachers, and parents. Nobody else. I don't see people around. I don't have a connection in the city about to please somebody or think about how my vote is going to affect somebody. My vote always is about how it's going to affect students, again, teachers, and parents. I want parents to be more involved. I'm going to continue working those issues about parents and being involved. I'm going to continue fighting for more decent classroom for the teachers. I'm going to continue fighting for higher quality education for our students, but they cannot get higher education if we don't provide the teachers with the right tools that they need. So that is my point. I don't know if there are many other candidates who also deserve to win, but I want to continue, and I hope that you can provide me with the opportunity to continue for 2 more years. And so I feel very grateful for the support that people give it to me every 2 years in election. And hopefully you're going to support me again. And thank you so much for everything. And please, November 3rd, we have election. And I ask you, give me one of your 6 votes for Lynn School Committee. I'm going to continue fighting for your right. I'm going to continue fighting for higher education as I've been doing. And so November 3rd, I hope to count on you.
This has been a conversation with school committee woman and candidate Maria Carrasco, whose name will be on the November 3rd ballot. I am Thor Jourgensen, city editor of the Daily Item. Please read the Daily Item and itemlive.com for more election coverage. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pleasure.